This is a video for the shape of the hand on the piano and how to rehab it or to find the best balance. Number one, joint location and motion. Thumb, joint, thumb joint, palm joint, palm joint. That's the palm joint is where the fingers move, not here. All here, just a little bit. Thumb goes this way, or that way. Not very much. The wrist can move around any place a little bit, but when you move your wrist, don't push anything out. Keep your hand like this. Now some hand exercises to help yourself push up. Feel the thumb joint and the palm joint move together. Flat, pushing your palm up. Look at the wrist. See this angle? That's good. The arm can move around, but basically it's a rounded thing here. Thumb joint, finger palm joint. Can be this way, can be this way. Push up, balance. Push up, balance. This is the part that takes the weight and moves the finger. This is the part that takes the weight and moves the finger. Notice how every joint on the thumb is very slightly bent. You can practice this with a tennis ball or a rolled up sock or whatever. Feel it inside your hand, in the palm. Practice rotating it around counterclockwise and clockwise slowly. And then start moving your fingers in that direction. Your thumb strokes around the edge of the ball. You're just moving a little bit like this. Very lightly holding the object. It's okay if you drop the object. And don't do this. Keep it back like that and practice moving your finger while you're keeping your wrist angle like this. As long as there's a angle here, it's good, not flat and not crooked this way. You can do this while you're moving around in circles, slowly, so you can feel what it feels like. Then you let go and you practice doing that, going back and forth. Okay, slowly. Slower is better. Small motions. Feel where the movement is. The movement you should feel movement here and inside the hand and even all the way up towards your elbow. Subtle motions. Okay, we're trying to not push out. We're trying to move from here. You can practice this and this, like flapping, while you move your wrist in slightly different directions, but never out. Next one is at the piano. How do we push up at the piano? Same as on a flat surface. Push up from the middle. Keep the wrist very slightly bent. We have all this range of motion, all these different places, while we still keep the weight in that palm. We can move forward, we can move backward, we can move left, we can move right, we can move our arm, we can twist this way. Okay, this is one finger per key, is a good place to start. Moving your finger, maybe 2 Mississippis per motion, very slightly. You can do it while you're holding down the other fingers, you can do it while the other fingers are just barely touching. You're trying to really locate where the muscle movement starts to move the key. And you're trying to do that and feel the wrist and the palm at the same time. I'm balancing in the middle of my hand here. This is what it looks like when you play half step for every note. The hand has to open and close when we play. We have to find a good shape for each place that we're playing. Half step, half step, half step, half step, half step. My hand is closed. I can do it whole step the whole time. Whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step. The hand's a little bit more open. I can do it minor third, which is 3 half steps per finger. That gives us a diminished chord. The hand is even farther open. It's open an octave now, from the finger 5 to finger 1. Make sure you're pushing up and balancing on finger 4 and 5 and 2. The hard thing about this is the balance between 1 and 2. We don't dip down to play the thumb. We don't roll over to play the thumb. We don't move in any direction. We open the thumb from the palm open so that it meets the balance between here and here. And that's where we find the balance, whether 2 fingers at the same time or fingers separately. It should feel pretty much equal there, whether it's a whole step or a half step or a third or a fourth or a fifth or whatever. We find the shape and we put the balance. This rounded motion can be open or closed, and we have to practice moving the fingers during all of the different shapes that are required. That's the difficult part. We just do 10 finger exercises on that. And then the last thing is the balance of the palm itself should feel 49% downward gravity and 51% balanced up in the bones in the palm. So it's not equal, it's very slightly upward motion. So when you play the finger, you keep that upward feeling of 51% upwards versus 49% downwards. That's a little bit tricky too. And you feel